Is Liz Wright, and this is my introduction for our Math 518 class. So who am I? First of all, I'm a wife and I'm a mom of 3 kids. This is my oldest, Reagan, Cora, and Kale. They're 8, 6, and 4, and my husband, Eric. And I'm also an educator. So what do I like to also do? I love taking adventures. I love traveling. I love spending time with my family here in Dillon. I've got family in Bozeman, and the rest of my family is mostly in Kansas City, and I've got a brother in Philadelphia. But I'm very close to my family, and I love doing activities with them. And we love to just have fun. So you see my husband and my oldest daughter on the lift in the background, and then my middle kiddo and me right here. So as far as background, so I already said I do have family in the Kansas City area because I am originally from the Kansas City area. So I grew up in a suburb called Overland Park, Kansas. So if you're a Royals fan, a Kansas City Chiefs fan, I am also fans of the Kansas City Chiefs and the Royals. And I got my bachelor's degree from the University of Kansas, Rock Chalk Jayhawk, go KU. So during March Madness time, I'm definitely interested in following the Jayhawks. While I was also in Kansas City, I did 2 years of teaching experience. And I taught at the middle school level math and physical science because my bachelor's was in secondary education, and then I minored with an emphasis in biology and in mathematics. In 2008, we moved to Bozeman. So this was like our now or never move before kids. And then 2012, jobs took us to Dillon, Montana, where I'm at now. And so I actually worked at the University of Montana Western, actually in the admissions office to begin with in Dillon, and then a job opportunity opened up in the math department. And so from 2014 to present, I've been teaching in the math department, and I teach the lower level math classes. So I teach the 090 classes, the 095 classes. So that's introductory algebra and intermediate algebra, and then also 100 level geometry class. And it's kind of an interesting statistic, but we have about 80% of our student population requires remediation, whether it's in math or over in the English department or both. So we have a high population of students that are needing remediation. So I get to see a large percentage of our student body, which is pretty exciting when I get to see them also walk across the stage for graduation. What next? Okay, my picture. So my picture for our activity, I chose this one because at one point in time when I first moved to Bozeman, I actually worked in Big Sky. My sister owns a property management business up in the Big Sky area, so I just love looking at Lone Peak. It's so beautiful, and I got to ski once at the Big Sky Resort, and it was just fantastic. Well, I picked this because, one, I love skiing. I love being outdoors with my family, and it just reminds me that we live in such an amazing and beautiful place. While I was looking at this picture, though, I was thinking about how challenging and fun, but challenging skiing can be for me, because remember, I grew up in Kansas. So if you know anything about geography of Kansas, we're known for tornadoes and flatland, not for mountains. So I did not grow up skiing. I picked up some skiing once I moved out to Montana, so I haven't been skiing that long. So I think about how skiing can be really hard and challenging and even scary at times. And I was thinking about how life, professionally and personally, can be scary and hard. And just plain hard. And I kind of put it in here that I said, if you want to be good at something, you have to practice. You have to commit to failing, but also succeeding, which means you have to commit to at least to try. And you have to just commit to try so that you can get better. And I have that talk with my students a lot because many of those students have never been good at math. And so I just talk to them about increasing their confidence level, increasing their self-efficacy. And so I feel like this mountain can represent, like the challenges that we face in life, but also just the challenges that I can face in my profession, just trying to get across the content to my students. Personally too, it relates to me because I think just life in general, having 3 kids and managing a class and managing working and taking classes and being a mom and being a wife, it can be a challenge. But I do love all of those different roles I get to play. And, I love the challenge that they each bring me because it also produces such great and lasting rewards. So statistics. What do I hope to gain from this class? Well, one, I hope to gain somewhat of a refresher. I have not taken a statistics class since my undergrad. I've taught a tiny bit of probability when I taught the middle school level, but that was, my first 2 years of teaching, and that was a while ago. So that was like 2005 and 2006. But that was very basic level. And I took 2 upper level statistics classes with my undergrad, but that was about it. And like I said, it was a long time ago. So I'm also, besides a refresher, I'm also just hoping to gain a better understanding of best practices to just model and also interpret data that we might see, or we might even be gathering ourselves. So defined, I was thinking about, okay, well, what does it mean for me to just describe statistics to other people? And I think of it as like gathering some data and then figuring out best ways to analyze that data. And as you're analyzing it, the hope is always that you can draw some inferences and even, draw some inferences based on the patterns that you're seeing, and then in hopes to come up with a model to make predictions that will help make predictions for this larger population that would be based on your sample population that's smaller but still a similar sample set. And why do I think it's important for just educators in general to study this? I think it's so important because, one, just even at Montana Western, we have the education department, the science department, the admissions office, the registrar's office. They come to the math department frequently asking us to analyze their data. And there are 2 professors in our department that typically take on the analyzation because they are the professionals in the statistics area. And I would like to be a better contributor in that field, just because I think it's fascinating to kind of take some data and come up with some models of best fit. And so I think it's important for educators to study that, one, because we're mathematicians, and then we can help take the data that's being brought to us and help analyze it better and come up with some mathematical models. In addition, I just think studying statistics here in this class will hopefully give us a broader and just deeper understanding of statistical mathematics. So, hoping that it will help us to more easily interpret and analyze just other reports that we might be seeing from different researchers. And then maybe we can even look at their design methods and analyze those design methods too, and say, hey, could we offer a suggestion? Could we have done it better? Or do we agree with what was given? So I think that's it. But anyway, it was nice to introduce myself, and I'm looking forward to looking through the rest of your guys' introductions online as well. Thanks. Bye.